a bad time for our nation. We must look for foreign support to save this nation.
World news, sport, music,
girl, I just want me with you like guys,
and many more. To listen to our programs, follow us live on all our social media platforms on Facebook at Aloore Radio, Twitter and Instagram at Aloore Radio. You can also subscribe on our YouTube page on Aloore Radio. Make sure you click on the notification bell so you know when we are live. This is Aloore Radio, the voice of Oyo State.
Hello viewers, you're welcome to your program Insight into Oyo State, where we highlight activities and achievements of Oyo State government. The program is packaged and produced by the Oyo State Ministry of Information, Culture and Tourism. I am Afolake Bangbushe. For this week's edition, as we mark the 2023 World Malaria Day, we will be exploring the impact of malaria on individuals, communities and Oyo State on the fight towards the elimination and control of the disease. We will hear from experts as well as individuals on the front lines of the fight against malaria. Join us as we delve into the challenges and opportunities in the fight against malaria and the collective efforts required to achieve a malaria-free state and the world at large. Malaria is a disease that has plagued humanity for centuries and continues to do so to this day. It is caused by a parasite transmitted to humans through the bite of an infected female mosquito. The parasite then multiplies into the human body, leading to symptoms such as fever, chills, vomiting, and range of other flu-like symptoms that can quickly become life-threatening if left untreated. Unfortunately, there is a lot of myths regarding the causes of malaria, which often arises from lack of knowledge or misinformation. Examples of such include mosquitoes being attracted to people with certain blood types, that being outside at night causes malaria, among several other misconceptions. However, the World Health Organization has stated that these myths are not true and there is no scientific evidence to back them up. Similarly, various arguments have been raised if malaria truly is a communicable disease. Scholars have long recognized the communicability of malaria, and research has shown that mosquitoes are the primary vectors for the spread of the disease. The World Health Organization also confirms that malaria is a communicable disease caused by a parasite transmitted through the bites of an infected female Anopheles mosquitoes.
Malaria is a life-threatening disease and is public health issue that's actually affecting the community. And when we talk of way of preventing it, malaria is an infective disease that is caused by the bites of infected female Anopheles mosquito. After biting an individual, an individual come out with the symptom of malaria like fever, headache, general body weakness, malaise, sometimes there may be vomiting, and times there may be loss of appetite.
A study by the World Health Organization reveals that malaria is a preventable disease that claims over 400,000 lives every year, with more than half of these deaths occurring in children under the age of 5. Significantly, malaria has been a public health challenge in many countries, especially in sub-Saharan Africa. However, efforts to combat malaria have been ongoing for many years, with numerous organizations, governments, and communities coming together to address this issue. One of the main drivers in this fight is the establishment of the World Malaria Day by the World Health Organization to recognize the global effort to control malaria. It is celebrated on 25th April every year to raise awareness and to recognize the progress made in the fight against the disease. The day also serves as a reminder of the work that still needs to be done to eliminate malaria. Additionally, the day is usually celebrated with various activities to educate and inform people on the disease and its prevention. Experts reveal that in recent years, there has been a decline in the number of malaria cases and deaths, with many countries on track to meet the global target set for 2025. No doubt this is a testament to the dedication of researchers, advocates, as well as the commitment of governments and donors to invest in malaria control and prevention. On the latest, Nigeria became the second nation after Ghana to approve the administration of a new vaccine developed by scientists from Oxford University. This was confirmed by NAFDAC Director General Professor Adeyeye that the agency received the dossier of the recombinant adjuvanted R21 malaria vaccine for the prevention of clinical malaria in children from 5 months to 36 months of age. Conversely, the fight is far from over. Malaria still affects millions of people every year. As the 2023 World Malaria Day is being celebrated, reflecting on the theme, Time to Deliver Zero Malaria, Invest, Innovate, and Implement. It focuses on the key actions needed to achieve zero malaria. Consequently, it brings to the fore the need for increased investment in malaria control and elimination, innovative approaches to prevention and treatment, and effective implementation of existing strategies. The theme also emphasizes the impact of malaria has on individuals and communities, as it highlights the importance of ending malaria to create a future where people no longer live in fear of this deadly disease.
The baby is in tandem with the name of your state, being a certain state. He said you want to innovate, you want to invest in it, then you want to implement. Now, government had invested in the health sector. You could sit down from the massive innovation that's going on in the state for facility upgrade, innovation, and even attributes in areas where they are not in existence. Going with the concept of the World Health System, you want to make sure you have one facility per ward so that you are going to increase access to health. So the distance you have to travel in accessing care has reduced. So we make health facility available in all the nooks and crannies. That's an investment which is very, very quite huge. Even down again, you're not even living on down again, you are actually coupling down with equipping such facilities. Part of investment government is doing now is what I've mentioned to you now, free health policy in the state. And every month, they will have drug procurement to support health services across net and breadth of the state. And for those procurement, the cost in a month really between about 30 to 80 million every month to be able to procure drugs for distribution into all our primary care facilities in the state. And one of the major share in this procurement is the anti-malaria drugs. Like I said, common things occur commonly, so you want to prepare for what is commonly occurring. Now, the government has been so innovative in the way to go about things now. And you talk about the new creation now in the way to manage environment, without degradation, the channelization of our major streams, not only that one again, and try to inject the awareness of people on how to better manage their environment and do the kind of environmental control. Then implementation stage is one of which everything comes together to ensure we actually do this one, and that will actually give us the result of what we have as much as malaria control is concerned.
In Oyo State, the efforts of this administration play a critical role in implementing a range of measures to control and prevent the spread of the disease. One of such is the Omitutun Free Health Mission, an initiative by Governor Seyi Makinde's administration, which plays actively in providing free medical care and mosquito nets for people in the state. So far, their efforts have been successful in reducing prevalence of malaria, since mosquitoes are the primary transmitters of the disease. Additionally, the mission has also helped to educate the populace on the importance of preventative measures, such as using insect repellents and keeping their environment clean, which has further contributed to the decrease in malaria cases.
The state government has tried enough in malaria eradication in the states. Let me start from awareness creation. In creating awareness to the people of the community and people of your states about what it takes to prevent the breed of mosquito that causes malaria.
Whatever the effort the government will put in place will be on a continuous basis. As you know that malaria is a perennial infection in this part of the world. So it's for all seasons. And the effort of the government is multifactorial. Apart from the one that directly impinged on health, there are efforts that has to do with environmental manipulations to be able to control the environment so that we can have better control of malaria infection.
In spite of all the challenges experienced in Oyo State towards eradicating the disease, individuals' participation is key. As such, individuals should practice the good hygiene as part of their civic obligations in the state.
From the data in Oyo State, about 54% were acquired in ITN. But when it comes to utilization data, it was 19 as at 2021. It was 19%. So that's to tell us we need to increase the awareness on the use of ITN.
Good hygiene practices such as hand washing and keeping the environment clean and free of stagnant water and using bed nets to prevent mosquito bites will significantly reduce the transmission of malaria.
So state government has tried to increase the awareness of the people in those things that cause the breed of mosquito. Number one, the environmental hygiene, to ensure the environment is free from stagnant water that can breed mosquito. Also, all the water in the domestic use, the household, should be well covered because mosquito breed in the water. And also, the house, both in the window, the house door should be protected with wire nets to prevent the entrance of the mosquito into the household, especially the living room. And also the use of ITN, insecticide treated nets. In 2021, there was net campaign in which ITN was distributed across all the LGA in the Oyo States, so which all households to acquire mosquito treated nets, and they were educated in the use of ITN and how they can manage, use it, and to actually be sure they are utilizing it, not only to acquire it is some of the things we included in health education.
While progress has been made by the government towards reducing malaria cases in all local governments of the state, through education and awareness-raising campaigns and addressing access to clean water and sanitation facilities, there is still a long way to go in eradicating the disease entirely. The effectiveness also depends on factors such as funding, political will, and individuals' participation.
The state government, through in support with Malaria Consortium, has also enjoyed SFC implementation last year. So we have the first round last year. And the target population for this is children from 3 months to 59 months. So we have this implementation in 6 of our LGA, which includes Repo, Aloore, Ogumosho North, Shaki East, Shaki West, and Aloore. So those 6 LGA have enjoyed the first round of SPAC administration, and it was successful. The coverage for the first round was 102%, so that is why the SPAC was well acceptable by the people of the community, and about 290,000 children enjoyed the SPAC administration. That was last year, and this year the arrangement is on desk. Now by May we are commencing another round, which will be the second round in Oyo State. And to tell you that the state government was really trying. In Southwest, Oyo State is the only state that have this implementation out of the state in Southwest.
In the same development, reporters from the state's Ministry of Information, Culture and Tourism sampled individuals' opinions on cultural beliefs and social norms of malaria, which are critical components and strategies of eradicating malaria.
Malaria is caused by a parasite called mosquito that is infected. So when mosquito is infected bites someone, it gives that person malaria. Now, there are different ways malaria can be treated, but before I talk about the ways it can be treated, what are the symptoms of malaria? We have body pain, headache, feverish, when someone is feeling feverish. So those are the causes, symptoms of malaria rather. Now, how do I treat malaria? First, prevention. I have to make sure that my environment is neat. I have to make sure that dirty water, I make sure as much as possible that I make sure that there is no dirty water around my environment, and also sometimes I use a mosquito-treated net when I want to go to bed, so I use mosquito-treated net. Now, peradventure, after doing all this, I still have mosquito, I still have malaria, I still have malaria. What I just need to do, I treat it with, what's it called, Lumaten. I take Lumaten, or I go to the hospital to have injection to treat malaria.
The way I see malaria, I see it as a common disease, and then to prevent it, you have to have mosquito and every other thing, because I do have it usually once in a year, but I usually make use of the mosquito net and some other things. But anytime I do have malaria like that, I go to the hospital through OSHA and every other medical sector, so I do go there. But what can I say is that when people develop malaria like that, they should seek medical attention instead of self-medication. So because prevention is better than cure. And then if you perceive you have malaria, so it is not enough for you to actually know you have malaria until you see a medical practitioner. So that's my own knowledge of it. It's a common ailment.
It's a very common disease. Everybody has it, and it's very common and rampant in this part of our country, Nigeria. Anybody can have malaria, both children, adults, old age, anybody can have it. And as for me, like me, when my children have malaria, I don't go for local treatments. I don't take them to hospital. They will give them my anti-malaria drug. At times, when the temperature is too high, before I take them there, they place them on injection, as in for a start. In my house, I have mosquito nets. They sleep on that mosquito net, and I make sure that I do all this. I do fleet, as in my environment, because we have some bushy place in my environment. We don't have any gutter, because I know they normally grow in all those spots. All this bushy area, I do fleet them, like twice in a month because my children always have malaria, and I use mosquito nets.
Malaria is a disease that can kill if not well cured. If you not treat yourself well, malaria will kill the person that is affected. So secondly, how you will know that you have malaria and the symptoms that will develop in your body that will show you that you have malaria. Some people like me, I normally have a mouth bitter and I cannot eat very well. Some will have rashes in their tongue. Some they will have there is different kind of symptoms in your body that you will see and you know you have malaria. And once you have malaria, it's better for you to go to hospital, not going to streets or dayo to miss abo for you. It's better that you take yourself to hospital so they will check you proper, treat you well so that your body and you will be healthy once again.
Meanwhile, the relationship between malaria and nutrition is multifaceted. As such, a multifaceted approach that includes both malaria prevention and interventions aimed at improving nutrition is necessary to combat the disease effectively. Reports reveal that malnourished individuals, particularly children, are more susceptible to malaria infection and have a higher risk of severe illness and death. This is because poor nutrition weakens the immune system, making it harder for the body to fight off the infection. Malaria can also contribute to malnutrition as the disease can cause loss of appetite, vomiting, and diarrhea.
In order to understand the relationship between nutrition and infection generally, we need to understand what nutrition is about. So nutrition is science of food and its relationship to health, and it's mostly concerned primarily with the parts played by nutrients in the body growth, development, and maintenance. So like all other infections, there is a strong correlation between the nutritional status of an individual and their ability to fight infection. Just like malaria, of course, malaria is a form of infection like all other infections. So when an individual is well nourished, that is nutritionally okay, such a person will be in a better position to fight any form of infection, malarial infection inclusive.
Nevertheless, proper nutrition can help prevent malaria. A healthy diet that includes a variety of fruits, vegetables, and whole grains provide the body with necessary vitamins and minerals to maintain a strong immune system. This, in turn, can help prevent malaria. For instance, vitamin A has been shown to help prevent malaria as it increases the body's resistance to the disease. Additionally, taking iron supplements can help to prevent anemia, which is often a complication of malaria infection.
Eating adequate nutrients as parts of a varied diet is required for the maintenance and growth of all body cells, immune cells also inclusive. So what it means is that for somebody to be able to fight off infection, the person has to eat healthily. And in eating healthily, what we mean by that is that a person has to eat adequate nutrients, adequate in terms of quality and quantity. So in order for an individual to be well nourished, the micronutrients and both micro and macronutrients, they are needed to be taken in required proportion. The micronutrients, they are the carbohydrates, the protein, the fat and oil. And the carbohydrates they have to be taken in form of fibers and grains, while for proteins, they have to be taken in forms of legumes and pulses. That is a protein of plant origin, and so also protein of animal origin like fish, meat, milk, eggs, and so on. And of course, we need to take vitamins and minerals in form of fruits and vegetables. That is vitamin A rich fruits and vegetables. So we need to eat all these classes of nutrients in right proportion for us to have optimum nutrition.
Conclusively, the eradication of malaria in Oyo State requires concerted effort from all residents. As such, individuals, government, and other stakeholders need to place more priority on investment in malaria prevention and treatment programs that would strengthen the health systems. Together, we must focus on improving nutrition as a key component of malaria control strategy. As we commemorate the 2023 World Malaria Day, eradicating malaria in our state requires sustained commitment and collaboration from all stakeholders. Let us join hands and work together to deliver zero malaria for a healthier and prosperous future.
Bíṣẹ̀kẹ̀rẹ̀ bá ti dùn ó, kóńgà tẹ̀lé, àtẹ̀lé, ìjó máa tẹ̀lé, antrax dákun kóńgì lélo fún mi jàre, àtẹ̀kọ́dé challenge, àgbàgúrú maradi, àwọlé pẹ̀lú Bugatti, Ankara lórí Versace, ìdí ń bẹ n'Íbàdàn o, òkè ń bẹ n'Íbàdàn o, ìdí àdẹ́dẹ́, ìdí ayẹrẹ, òkè Zango, òkè Mọ̀kó, pẹ̀lú Ṣòkò. Àwọn ọmọ mi ní mọ̀lẹ́tẹ̀, ẹ má sòkò fẹ́ yẹ Twitter, alọ́mọ mẹ́ta fẹ́ yà síkà, fúnra bàtà fẹ́ yà bọ́mbà. Fẹ́sẹ̀ lẹ́wọ̀n tó húdì dáhùn. Ìbàdàn ni mo wà o, Ìbàdàn ni mo lè o, Ìbàdàn ni mo wà o, Ìbàdàn ni mo lè o. Ẹ wá ń dé kò bẹ́ẹ̀ bá mi lé o. Ìbàdàn ni mo wà o, Ìbàdàn ni mo wà o, Ìbàdàn ni mo lè o, Ìbàdàn ni mo wà o, Ìbàdàn ni mo lè o. Ẹ wá ń dé kò bẹ́ẹ̀ bá mi lé o. Ìbàdàn ni mo wà o. Pẹ̀lú Ṣòkò péńpé, àwọn ọmọ mi ní mọ̀lẹ́tẹ̀, ẹ má Ṣòkò fẹ́ yẹ Twitter, alọ́mọ mẹ́ta fẹ́ yà síkà, fúnra bàtà fẹ́ yà bọ́mbà. Fẹ́sẹ̀ lẹ́wọ̀n tó húdì dáhùn. Ìbàdàn ni mo wà.
And that's our package for this week's edition of Insight into Oyo State. Please join us same time, same station next week when we bring you another fresh edition of this program. Remember, the program is brought to you by the Oyo State Ministry of Information, Culture and Tourism. Until then, I am Afolake Bangboshe. Stay safe and bye for now.
Everything from breaking news,
President must know that this is a bad time for our nation. We must look for foreign support to save this nation.
world news, sport, music,
I'm no vibe, girl I just want me with you like guys.
and many more. To listen to our programs, follow us live on all our social media platforms on Facebook at Aloore Radio, Twitter and Instagram at Aloore Radio. You can also subscribe on our YouTube page on Aloore Radio. Make sure you click on the notification bell so you know when we are live. This is Aloore Radio, the voice